What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am, of course, your host, Reckless Rex Ruger, along with El Flaco Explosivo in puppet form, Alexis Arguello.
And I'm your other host, Frank Benjis, back with another episode.
Yeah. And we got a good one. We got a guy that you don't see crop up in a lot of interviews, folks. So you are welcome in advance, and he's here now, man. A bona fide legend. But you've come to expect that from Off the Couch Boxing. And the trend continues. Where is he? We'll get him in here.
Just got to tap the screen and touch the microphone and the video thing that pop up.
Microphone.
Yeah, we can hear him. There he is.
You got it.
Cool deal.
Nice. Can you see us and hear us okay?
Yeah, I can see you.
A man who, if you are a boxer, should need no introduction, but maybe because you've been out of the scene for a minute, let's remind people that this is, of course, LAMAR KIDFIRE Parks. And I'm happy to have you, my man.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. And, of course, man, goes without saying, man, 27-1, 21 knockouts. First of all, man, tell us how and why you got into boxing. Were you one of these guys that got into a lot of scraps?
No, actually, I wasn't, but I did get in a fight in school. What made me want to box, and the reason was the dude couldn't hit me.
Nice. That's always good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
And I didn't throw no punches.
That's nice.
Yeah, my dad told me if I fight back, I get a whooping. So, yeah, I didn't fight back.
Old school. Yeah, Benjis, that's old school right there. Your pop's pushing you outside and saying, go kick somebody's ass. That's an old school. That's old school. So when you start to get into boxing, are there any guys that you're kind of like looking up to as your own heroes?
Yeah, Roy Jones.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah.
Roy Jones, that was my idol. Also a guy by the name of Mike the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. You're going back some.
Yeah. He was in our gym. So he showed me things that I ain't think that could be done, him and Roy.
Yeah. And of course, we talked earlier, off the interview. You also got some history with a guy we just had on here, man, Reggie Johnson.
Yeah, my man.
Yeah, he's the best. He's great, man. Yeah, we had a good time with him, man. Yeah, he's good, man. But still, man, that was a close-ass fight.
It was. The commentators had me winning, and I got exactly what I asked for. I told my promoter that I would fight the champion in his living room with his mama and his aunt judging. So
That's confident.
I kind of got everything I asked for.
So, towards the end of your career, man, you were about to fight Gerald McClellan, but at that time there was a lot of great middleweights out there. I'm thinking, namely, around the time that you fought, I'm thinking of Gerald McClellan, of course, Hopkins, Roy, and James Toney. Out of all four of those guys, is there anybody in there, like, if you had to rank them in that order, like, who you wanted to fight? You don't want to beat up poor Roy, do you?
Well, I would have saved Roy. We would have fought last. Roy was a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So I would rather beat the other three up.
Yeah. How about B-Hop?
Yeah. I wanted to fight B-Hop. He was my mandatory for my NABF title at one time.
And how does that fight go down? How does that fight go down with you and B-Hop?
Me winning. Damn. Yeah, me winning.
Sounds like shades of James Toney.
Huh?
I said the way you're talking, it kind of reminds us of like shades of James Toney, because I told you offline, man, you can't tell James Toney that anybody's better than him, man.
Well, the thing about it is, a fighter gotta have that confidence, regardless of the situation.
They do.
You know, you put us in a situation to where we're the underdog, we're gonna feel like we can come out on top.
And is there one guy, in your career that you feel like gave you the toughest fight?
I'm gonna mention two guys.
Okay.
And for the simple reason, not necessarily gave me the toughest fight, but I put myself in the situation. Had sex before a fight. I fought Percy Harris. Percy Harris came ready to throw 125 punches around. I didn't have that in me, so I had to figure out how to win. You know.
Did you learn a lesson from that fight?
I did. Very valuable. When people tell you sex don't bother you, that's a story. It messes with your timing. It messes with your conditioning. And it was 9 days before the fight.
And just like Mickey said in Rocky, man, women weaken legs.
They do. They do. Yeah. And the other one, I would have to give it to Reggie. You know, I spoke to Reggie the other day. I was like, Reggie, I didn't feel like you won the fight. I need a rematch. But Reggie moved so much. I did not expect Reggie to move. I even told Reggie, you fought Roy different.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, very different.
So, it was hard for me to fight a southpaw that was moving.
So what's
up? I want to catch him.
Are you somebody right now who still keeps a keen eye on the sport?
Somewhat. I had took my eyes off for about 10 years. Because I really didn't care. Only person I watched then was Roy.
Yeah.
But I have been keeping up with a little bit what's going on now. This younger generation, they need me as a coach.
Are there any guys out there particularly that you kind of got an eye on, or that you're a fan of that are currently fighting?
Tank Davis.
Yeah, you like Tank, huh? Yeah,
well, I love Tank.
Yeah.
What do you think about the conversion to? What do you think about the conversion of faith, switching over to Muslim and changing his name to Abdul Wahid?
Well, I mean, that's a man's preference. Ali did it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess at some point in time, you know, you decide what you want to follow in this world.
But we can still call him Tank. I mean, he's still going to be Tank.
I can't call him Tank Wahid though. It doesn't flow right.
It don't flow right. Right.
It doesn't really flow right. Yeah, it does sound kind of weird. Wait, what was the first name he took again? Abdul
Wahid is his name though.
Abdul Tank Wahid. Yeah, it's not as nice as Gervonta Tank Davis.
No.
Tank just fits with Davis perfectly.
But by that same token, champ, wouldn't you say though that, like, you know, if you didn't follow Cassius Clay way back in the day and you only knew him as Muhammad Ali, it sounds weird to hear of somebody call him Cassius Clay because it's what we've known him by for so long. I think people will get used to the Abdul Wahid.
Yeah. Well,
and he's always going to be known as Tank. He's going to be known as Tank still.
Right.
That's a boxing nickname. That's got nothing to do with Muslim. You know, I mean.
Nah, it don't. Because Tank is who he is, and that's what he represents when he steps in that ring.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely does.
I want to know what you think about these like Jake Paul type fights, or the Francis Ngannou fighting Tyson Fury, and he's actually slated to fight Anthony Joshua. They just had a face-off.
Yeah, you like these gimmick fights?
Well, no, I'm not a fan of that. But you know, you turn on the TV and it's acting. You know.
Yeah.
They doing whatever makes money.
Yeah. It's almost more like when they do their thing and put on a show. It's almost more like closer to pro wrestling.
Right. And don't get me wrong, I won't never knock that. Because Ali even had a few exhibition fights.
Yeah.
People ain't thought about that. You know. But no, I'm not a fan of that. And then you call it a real fight. Call it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, a spectacle or an exhibition or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, even what about even James Toney there fought Razor Ruddock, and they raised both their hands at the end of it.
Yeah, they just gave him a nice charity draw.
Like, I'm not really sure what that means. Like, what's that mean?
Everybody's got to leave. Everybody's got to leave feeling good.
Right. Well, you know, like I say, we watch TV, we see all kind of acting, we watch wrestling. So, you know, whatever way they can make money, you can't knock it.
Nah,
wait a minute, you just inserted yourself in there and claimed that you're guilty of watching wrestling. Do you watch a little wrestling?
No, my daddy do.
Yeah?
Yeah, my daddy watch wrestling. I ain't never been a fan of wrestling either.
No?
No.
Now, do you think it's detrimental to the boxing to protect the brand that when a guy like Francis Ngannou comes in with no experience and he drops our heavyweight champion? That doesn't look good, though, does it?
No, but it incorporates what I've always said. When people say, well, he hit hard. I'm like, you know what? Every man in this world hit hard. Let him hit you with his best shot.
Yeah.
Everybody hit hard. Me, you, anybody. It don't matter who it is to get hit.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand, 7 pounds of pressure drop anybody on the face of the planet when it's applied right.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. It's physics. Yeah, breaking it down physics, KIDFIRE. I like that, man. Give him a little talk to him. Give him a little physics lesson, you know? I mean, anybody can do it.
Right. Anybody.
Yeah.
It don't matter I was #1 10 in the world if I got hit on the chin with 7 pounds of pressure.
Yeah, amen to that. And by the way, man, I got to say, and I've always thought this because me and Benji's here are really big on talking to our guests about nicknames. And I'll say, man, KIDFIRE is way up there. Way up there.
That's a solid one. I like that one.
Solid one. Solid nickname.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's coming from somebody that goes by Reckless Rexx. You know what I mean? So, you know. and Benji, you want to tell him yours?
Oh, yeah. Frankie the Flamethrower.
Not bad, huh?
Flamethrower. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So now tell me, how'd you come up with the nickname?
We was just bullshitting one day, honestly.
Yeah.
We was like, all these guys we get on an interview, they're all boxers. They got their nicknames. Let's give ourselves some nicknames.
Fuck it. Yeah. Why not?
But
I gotta say, man, KIDFIRE is a very good one. Now, who came up with that? Did somebody call you that, or did you invent that for yourself?
Nah, I invented that for myself, and what it came from is because when I was 16, well, actually when I was 14 years old, I was sparring with grown men in the gyms. Didn't matter what weight. When I was 16 years old, I was fighting grown men in open competition. I turned pro at 18 years old. I signed with Madison Square Garden at 20. I fought for the world title at 22.
Yeah, that's a wild ride.
So I was young.
Yeah, that's a wild ride. And what was the biggest lesson? You know, if you could point at one big lesson that boxing taught you, what would it be?
Boxing taught me self-discipline. The things I learned in boxing is things I apply in this world today.
Yeah.
It structured me as a man. See, I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and run. It was my choice. When I realized I'm the one in that ring, my dad didn't have to wake me up and say, son, go run. Or son, you need to drop some weight, or you need to train a little harder. See, I realized it's me in that ring, not my daddy, not my mama, not my coach, not my brother.
Right.
You know.
So I'm curious to know, you say you signed with Madison Square Garden at 20. What's it like, you know what I mean, as a real young man, like getting a little purse of money, you know what I'm saying? How do you navigate that field? Because, like, this is not boxing related, but I feel like LeBron James is like the poster child for handling money so smoothly as a young man. I just wonder, how do you navigate that?
Well, the thing about that is, like most fighters, we probably spend the money as fast as we make it because we think it's gonna always be there.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, see, my goal was 300 million. So anything less than that was like no money to me.
Right.
I turned down $1 million to fight Roy Jones, and I fought Reggie for $40,000.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what boxing's really like. And I'm glad you say that because I think people do get this illusion that boxers at the end of their career are all doing fantastic because we've seen them on TV, but it's not the case.
I'm just saying, Champ, I do a lot of things for 40 racks right now.
Yeah, I can certainly use 40 stacks for sure.
Right.
But I mean,
now check this out. Is people offer me $50,000 to let them step aside.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Gotta be hard. Gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does gotta be hard.
Now I'm gonna tell you another thing I done, which a lot of people didn't really just recognize. And ain't too many people really done it. You know, as far as I know, it was only Tyson. But I was #1 WBC, the WA, and the IBF at one time.
That's rare. Yeah, that's rare. Yeah. Yeah, that's an accomplishment. That is rare.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen that often.
When I lost to Reggie, they dropped me back down to #5. In 1 year, I was back to #1 across the board.
Well, let's talk about the fight with Reggie since we just recently had him on. Why was it that you think – now, obviously, I watched the fight several times. I think I watched it even back when it happened or whatever. And, you know, aside from the judges' scorecards, which I'll get to in a second, the commentators right at the end were kept on stressing the point that it was a close fight but did you do enough to quote unquote, lift the belt off the champion? That did you beat him definitively enough to take the belt from him?
Well, this is my thing. Anytime I ever stepped into the ring, because what people don't know, I felt like I was short step going to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to get in the ring. My job ain't to box you. My job is to get you out of there.
Right.
So if a fight go the distance, no matter how bad I beat you, in my world, it's considered a loss because they can take any fight from you. There's nothing you can do about it.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Yeah, I do. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say out of 53 interviews, Benji's, in the ballpark of, that's probably the most poignant thing and real thing that anybody said. You're right. If it goes to that cards, you suddenly you have no control anymore. None.
No. None at
all.
Like
mercy or whatever they saw.
Regardless of the performance you turned in, and we've seen some real fucking doozies. I'll tell you that. Some real crazy decisions. Some crazy scorecards. I mean,
go watch Roy Jones in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most craziest fights I've ever seen.
A robbery.
Even that 118, 110 scorecard that guy had for Sugar Ray over Marvelous Marvin.
We were talking about that earlier. I know. That's crazy. Yeah. That fight was nowhere near that wide of a margin. But you're right. Roy Jones did get really screwed in the Olympics, though.
See, the beauty about boxing is, unlike any other sport, you see, everybody else got to get picked to turn pro.
Right.
See, I don't care if you're a superstar or who your superstar is. I fought a lot of promoters, fighters in their hometown. They can't raise his hand if he on that canvas.
Right. Amen to that. Now, tell us a little bit about what life after boxing's been like. Like, what are you doing now? I know you're doing some coaching, right?
Yeah, a little bit right now. I was doing a lot a few years ago. I'm fixing to open up a gym this year and go back full time. I'm gonna go full time for the first time. Boxing with my name on the gym. But I've been working. I own a construction company. I do commercial waterproofing and caulking for the last 30 years. So yeah, actually, life after boxing. See, to a true fighter, if he can't fight, there was a point in time I ain't even want to live in this world. Right. So I had to learn to adapt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real. That's real talk right there, man. I mean, yeah, it's a passion. It's a passion inside of you. I get that, man. But I do got to talk about I do got to shout out the Reggie scores in fairness here were 116, 112, 116, 113, 115, 113. So a very close fight. No matter how you cut it, very close.
Right. And I get that.
I'm not sure about 116, 112. From what I saw, that's the worst card out of all of them, I think. I mean, that's a little too wide for my liking. From what I saw.
Right. So if you watch the fight to the end, you will see, regardless, I dropped my head because I let that man live.
Yeah.
See, I became a mercenary. I targeted pressure points. Right. If you watch my fights, I'm constant pressure. Yes, and the one thing about me, if you miss, you pay.
Yeah.
If you swing at me and miss, you pay.
Yeah.
That's how I control men in my era.
Yeah.
See?
The counterpunching is big. Especially when you're a master at it. I mean, we've seen Floyd Mayweather do it very successfully too.
Right. And see, the thing about it is, I was a counterpuncher, but I led also.
Yeah.
See, I learned to counter the counter.
Yeah.
And like I say, you throw a punch, you miss, you pay. That was my job.
Now I want to ask him because you brought up Floyd. A question we ask a lot of people is who's your GOAT for boxing? Who's your boxing?
Roy Jones.
Yeah. Roy Jones. I mean, the HBO deemed Roy Jones pound for pound the best fight in the history of boxing.
Yes.
I spar with Roy every day. Roy was my idol.
Yeah.
Roy do more than any man I ever seen. He got so many tools in his tool bag.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's insane. It's almost infuriating that he doesn't get mentioned as the GOAT more often. He's not the guy that people go to first, but I think that's a big mistake, man. You're right. Roy can do it all.
It's usually Muhammad Ali or Floyd.
Yeah.
Right, but the thing about it is, I think Roy stayed a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Like I say, when it's in you, it's in you. And you know, like I was in camp with Roy, and I would hear and see some of the things Roy did in training, and I was fucking amazed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was just another breed of fighting.
Captain Hook with that freaky left bicep too. That thing's the real McCoy right there, that bicep, man. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
that left hook has got to crack.
Oh man, Roy punches like you never know. You think them like some punches he throw look little,
yeah,
but them little punches are big punches. Roy can really punch.
Yeah, you don't see that. You don't see that often. Like a guy with that quickness and that power. Usually, a guy seems to have one or the other more.
Or the other, right?
Yeah, I mean, Roy had it all equally, man. He could just do it all. So go ahead.
I tell you, one day I was in the gym sparring with Roy, and his uncle said, you know, and when I say sparring Roy, if I shoot 50-50, that's a good day for me.
Yeah.
One day, Roy uncle said, "Yeah, Lamar got out of all them traps." So I went over there in the corner, I'm scratching. I'm like, what is a trap? I said, I better figure out what it is before tomorrow get here. I'm gonna be falling into them traps.
I know. And you know that if you got a guy like Roy thinking, man, that you know, you're matching up with him pretty good, you know?
Man, I seen Roy send professionals. We was 17, 18 years old. I seen him send top 10 professionals at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Roy didn't play no games. Like when we sparred, see, sparring ain't sparring for us back then. It was fighting.
Yeah.
See, Sugar Ray Leonard flew me and my daddy to DC. They flew Roy and his daddy to DC to fight each other to see who gonna make Sugar Ray Leonard's team. See, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
You know, and we both made the team.
Yeah.
But I had to literally fight Roy. It wasn't sparring. The only difference in sparring and fighting for us back then is if I hurt you, I'm gonna back up, give you a chance to get yourself together.
Right. And
I still think one of the craziest things, like Roy getting, like when Tarver beat Roy, dude, knocked him out in that early round, second round, whatever it was. That's still the craziest thing that ever happened in my life.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Even though Tarver fucking said that line before the bell, you got any excuses tonight, Roy? He was very confident, but I still thought Roy would win, though. I just could never imagine anybody beating Roy.
I'm gonna tell you something. And a lot of people might not like this, but I think Tarver is the luckiest man walking the planet.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I mean, when he hit Roy with that left hand, he wasn't even looking at Roy.
Yeah,
no.
And now I'm gonna tell you how that was able to happen. Right? Okay. Do y'all know what the advantage a southpaw got over a right-handed person?
I think I do, but I'd rather hear it from you and our audience hear it from you.
All right, let me explain it to you.
Okay.
All right, as a fighter, I had 188 amateur fights, and I had 28 professional fights. 5% of the people that I fought was southpaw.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask Reggie the same question, he gonna tell you 95% of the people he fought was right-handed.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They fight us more than we fight them.
Right.
Now, the power hand is opposite. We train to slip a jab to the right. If you watch Roy went to the right, and Roy know the rules, but you do it every day in the gym.
Right.
And he just happened to go to the right, which would have been a standing person, you know, away from their power hand, but it was right into Tarver's power hand.
Right.
You know?
Instinct. A lot of it's instinct.
Right. Now think about this. Y'all remember when Zab Judah fought Mayweather?
Yeah, of course.
How much trouble he gave him?
Yep. Only knockdown of his career.
Only knockdown of his career. They didn't give him credit for it, but Floyd's glove touched the ground.
Yeah. You know, he was a southpaw.
Yep. One of the best. Love him.
Right. A boxing southpaw. Southpaw gives us more trouble.
Yeah.
Because we don't fight them as much. Now, if you got a guy that stands in front of you and there's no art, there's no technique, it's just fighting, that's different.
Yeah.
But you got a guy with some boxing skills, you know, southpaw stand a chance to edge you out.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about, like we were talking prior to this, tell us a little bit about, or like what you can divulge right now You had mentioned that you're in the process of an autobiography.
Yeah. I'm fixing to drop my autobiography this year.
Nice. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it.
I'll bet.
I've got married. I have a kid on the way.
Congrats.
And the reason I hadn't dropped my story all these years, because I wanted my story to have a good ending.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah.
Ain't no story without a good ending.
Right.
I got a beautiful wife. And I'm just happy right now. I'm at the happiest point in my life.
And like I told you, there's got to be an audio version, Fire. Got to be an audio version, man. And I'd like you to narrate it, but even if somebody else narrates it, that's fine, man. But I'd love to hear the story in your words, That'd be great.
I do like that. I do like that. I do plan to put it in my words, but I don't think nobody can put it the way I'm going to put it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, audio books,
I think it's a huge way to put your books out now.
Audio books, seriously, champ, they are getting huge, like, especially as people get older. And like, let's face it, the majority of the book buying public is older people anyway. You know what I mean? So I love putting an audio book on and just like actually like hearing somebody tell me their story rather than having to get out the old reading glasses. And you know what I mean? Like these audio books, I'm addicted to them. I love them.
Yeah, I do like that idea. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, very important, man. I mean, just
easy to do very well. Probably easy to get it on there, I would imagine.
Yeah, very easy, very easy. I think you just go into a studio and they set you up and you just read the thing. It depends on how long it is, how many times you come back to read it. Like I've listened to some audiobooks that were 8 hours, 7 hours, 12 hours. It just depends on how long it takes you to do your story. I imagine you got some stories though.
I was gonna say, boy, my story might come in episodes.
Yeah. This might be a movie. Now I'm looking at you right now, KIDFIRE, and I don't know who plays you in a movie, but I'm gonna sit on it for a while and think.
Hey, do that.
No,
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I want to give him Denzel. We don't want to give him Denzel, do we?
No, why can't? If you're gonna pick Denzel, why can't he just play himself?
Play yourself. That's a good idea. Play yourself. I get the feeling
you just have to find like a younger version of you.
Yeah,
a young guy that looked like you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I gotta say, man, it's been an absolute honor. I do hope you will stay in touch and we can do this again from time to time. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely. I love to be back.
Yeah, it's been an honor, man. We appreciate you doing this so much, man. A huge honor, man. And I think our audience is really going to be happy because we try to bring them, not only good boxing content, but unique content. And there's not a lot of interviews out there floating around with you in them. So I think the fans will be really happy to see you and hear from you.
Right. Well, I hope so. I hope so, because this is actually my first one.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man.
And this is the year that I'm fixing to put my autobiography out.
Well, we can't wait, and I think boxing fans will be absolutely thrilled, man. I'm waiting on it, man. We're excited, and we're excited for you, man. Congratulations on everything, the marriage, the baby on the way. Couldn't be happier for you, man.
Construction business gotta be lucrative.
Gotta be lucrative. Yeah. He's doing well.
Gotta be hitting it there.
Yeah.
Home run on that one.
All you guys out there, don't worry about KIDFIRE because he's on fire.
Yes, sir.
On fire.
You're on fire, man. We appreciate you doing it. I'm going to stay in touch, man, and we'll definitely keep talking.
Thank you. I do appreciate y'all having me on.
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate it so much, man. Have a good rest of your night.
Much love,
All right,
champ.
you too.
Much love, champ. Appreciate it.
Much love.
Bye-bye. Who else, folks? Who else? Alexis, what do you think? When do you ever see a KIDFIRE LAMAR Parks interview? Come on now. He just said, man, gave us the first one.
I know. How do you keep doing this?
How do I do it? I know. You're right. That's what people want to know. How do I do it? I'm not going to. Hey, a good magician never reveals his tricks. So don't hit me up in the comment section and say, how can I score up?
Hey, don't even bother. I'm his co-host, and I don't know how I'm asking him.
Yeah. I'm the Harry Houdini of the podcast world, of the boxing podcast world. That was a great episode. We're going to be rolling into another one here, man. So, we got to stay on schedule.
Hit it with the shout out, KIDFIRE. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I was serving up motherfuckers in the driveway tonight. So shout out Gary Busey.
We're all fired up man.
Tonight, baby.
We're all fired up, man.
With anything.
We're all fired up, man. And we just want to say, inside joke between us, fuck Fort Plains Crips. Or Bloods. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Bloods, the Fort Plains. Only the Fort Plains set, though.
Yeah. If you're around the Fort Plains, New York area, be wary. Because it's dangerous, thick territory down there, man. So be careful, man. That's very tongue-in-cheek. I'm sure you're very safe in Fort Plains, folks. Believe me, you are. You're very safe. Like and follow us on Facebook. Like and subscribe and hit the notification button if you're watching this with your two beady little eyes, as Stone Cold would say. And continue to support. No one else is bringing you Ika Bayabuchi interviews, LAMAR KIDFIRE Parks interviews. Nobody. I defy you to go find them. Do it.
Someone find me a DeVario Johnson interview. Oh,
yeah.
wait.
Yeah, I'll wait. Yeah. Amazing content with guys that are legends, luminaries, as I say, and guys on the come up. That's what we're all about here, man. So be good out there, folks. Keep tuning in. And if you want to be a champion, then remember, you got to roll with the champs.